Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends, and this one is going to be featuring Draven. This video features VarisNox playing as Draven. Now I missed the initial entry screen there. That's because every time I tried to record with Fraps on the loading screen, where I normally do to get the matchups, every time I tried to do that, it ended up crashing and it would not run, so I'm just going to start this in-game for a change. Anyway, let's go through the matchups. You can see them on the sidebars of the screen. We're going to have VarisNox playing as Draven, the featured person in this game. Alongside him is me, Sullla, playing as Sona with the Arcade Sona skin. Now, I'm going to do another video featuring Sona later with the Arcade skin because a lot of people want to see more action of that. But this isn't really the game for that. This game is going to be more about Draven, so I'm going to focus on that. We also do have, we have KirbyZilla playing as Gangplank, Jordan with a whole bunch of numbers playing as Akali, and Lonely Wolf 007 playing as Xinjiao. Then on their team, they have Kenchiku playing as Karthus, they have K-Hop jungling as Nunu, Lucium playing as Vlad, I believe he's going to be in top lane, and then, Nami Kashia playing as Ezreal, and Molina is coming as a support Blitzcrank. Now, one of the neat things that was added in this most recent patch is the ability to move people around on the bottom screen. So let's go ahead and do that and set up our laning assignments so that we can see how everybody lines up. So let's see, we'll do top, mid, bot, support, and jungle like so. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing, top, mid, and bottom and jungle. So there we go. And that's really nice because you can see that basically you can see the laning matchups right here in the middle. So that actually is a nice feature. I kind of wish that the blue team, that the portraits were over on this side. I kind of don't like how the portraits are all in the middle. It's a little weird, but maybe, I suppose in time we'll get used to it. Anyway, Kirby does have the teleport, and it looks like he's going to try to start with red, and then I'm assuming he's going to go back to base, and then he's going to use his teleport to get back to the lane. I have seen this before. It's a pretty nice way to use teleport if you're going to start with teleport, as it gives you an advantage in lane. Starting with red buff, never a bad thing. Okay, let's take a look though. This video is going to be about Draven. I don't believe that I've done a Draven video. Got the pings coming in for the gank there. Don't believe that I've actually done a video about Draven. So let's go through, look at some of his skills. Here's his passive. His critical strikes deal bonus physical damage. And let's see, his spinning axe also causes this effect even if it doesn't critically strike. So basically he gets bonus damage off his passive. It's not the greatest passive in the world. Works okay, but nothing to write home about. And we do have a little jungle action right here. Let's keep an eye on this. We'll come back to Draven in a minute, but there is indeed some action going on. K-Hop is getting quite low. There's also a fight in top. Vlad manages to slip out of there. And as it turns out, K-Hop, oh, he's quite low. Is Jordan going to be able to finish him off? No, the Ignite did not pick him up. We're going to have to back out there. So needed one more auto attack, but couldn't quite get it. But we were able to stop that jungle invade. Now, Draven, again, his strengths are he is very strong in lane. He doesn't have quite as much of a team fighting presence. He doesn't scale as well into late game, in part due to the way that you have to catch his axes, but he deals a ton of damage in lane. He's a very, very strong laner. He doesn't really have much in the way of crowd control, and he doesn't have much in the way of escapes. But if you can use this, if you can catch his axes, basically his gameplay comes down to, if you can catch his axes, he out-damages just about any other champion, any other AD in lane, is sort of the idea. Alright, so this is his core skill, his Q, his spinning axe. Next attack deals bonus physical damage equal to a percentage of his total attack damage. It starts at 45%, I believe it goes up to 85 if you max the skill. So what this means is his autos hit for a ton. Let's see. I guess that damage is already getting factored in. Oh, by the way, I get caught by a Blitzcrank grab there. This will not be one of my best games, as you'll see as we go through. Too many times getting caught by Blitzcrank. Right there, I get grabbed, and the flash is forced out. So, anyway, back to this. Again, when he catches, the whole thing is when you hit Q, he tosses an axe. The axe ricochets up in the air. If you catch it, you get the same effect on your next auto attack. So the idea is you have to keep catching these axes over and over and over again. Keep a little eye on top lane since there's a bit of a fight going on there. We'll see if Kirby's going to be able to get out of here. Oh, he's going to flash after Vlad, but the pool comes out for Lucium, and Kirby is going to take first blood. Then he's going to be taken out by K-Hop's Nunu. And now in comes Lonely Wolf. Is he going to... He wants that double buff off of Nunu, but I don't know if he's going to get it. Nope. Tower diving in Nunu, not the best thing when he's snowballing you and taking away your attack speed. So a nice play for K-Hop. Gets the 2-for-1 in top lane. Alright, back to Draven again. Like I said, it's all about catching his axes. Right now deals, 44 bonus physical damage. each time that you do the axe. So this makes his auto attacks hit incredibly hard, and he can ultimately have up to 2 spinning axes at once. As long as you keep catching the axe, you don't have to reactivate his Q. As long as you keep catching it over and over again, you know, you keep getting that bonus damage on every auto attack. The one thing it does do is it does make things very complicated, because you have to not only try to last hit the minions and try to dodge harass from the enemy team, but then you also have to factor in catching these axes into the equation as well. So it makes for sort of very complicated gameplay. Well, maybe not very complicated, but more complicated gameplay certainly than what you'd have with the standard AD. And one of the biggest issues with Draven is if you can use crowd control on him, if you can use CC on him, and you can stop him from catching his axes, his damage output goes down drastically. Okay, Hop's lurking here in the woods, but I think that we saw him. I think that's what the pings are for. Could be wrong on that. Anyway, so he does have his weaknesses, but if he keeps catching those axes, he does deal a lot of damage. Very, very heavy damage. He'll out-damage just about anyone else in lane. Now, I'm getting pinged by the enemy team, so let's watch what goes on here. K-Hop does have that red buff. Nunu with red is always very scary, and Blitz is going to come forward, but it looks like this is not going to turn into a kill. Meanwhile, there is going to be a kill in middle lane, where Jordan is going to die to Kenchiku, and that is not really what you want to see, because Akali is a snowball champ. If she gets out in front, she becomes super strong. If she falls behind, she's in trouble. Now, I get grabbed once again. Told you this wasn't my best game. Right there, the exhaust goes out onto Varys, but even with the exhaust, he's going to pick up that kill, so we actually are going to come out ahead in that fight. However, here comes K-Hop, and I was like, uh-oh, well, this is trouble. All he has to do is snowball me, and I'm going to die, so I'm going to run back here. Meanwhile, Varys is going to go in to engage, and watch what's going to happen. Right when he's going to snowball me, I'm going to use my exhaust on K-Hop, cuts his damage down to nothing, and then Lonely Wolf's going to pick off that kill. So I was like, yes, it is a good thing that I had exhaust up and off of cooldown. So K-Hop ran in to kill me, but I exhausted him, and that cut his damage drastically, cut his damage. But oh no, there's a Karthus in the game. Oh, so sad. Game over from the Arcade Sona little death animation. I was like, oh no, Karthus just wasted me, and I was recalling back to base, but couldn't make it back to base in time to avoid getting nuked down by that Karthus ion cannon. So that was, like I said, that was a very sad day right there. But as a Karthus player, I've certainly done that to other people enough times. Alright, so once again, just to finish up with this skill, you can see the bonus is up to 65%. It starts at 45, and then it gets an extra 10% on every level up. So I don't know if this is factored into the... I don't think this gets factored into the numbers here. So you have to imagine Varys is doing 89 with his base attacks, and then when he catches the axe, he deals another 58 damage on top of that. So that's, what, about one, a little lower than, it's like 140 damage, roughly. So you can imagine if he's dealing like 140 damage on his auto attacks, compared to Ezreal, who's dealing, 100, and that's after Ezreal's already bought, that the axes hit really, really hard. Okay, now there are other skills on Draven, so let's look at them. His W is called Blood Rush. Unfortunately, there's a Nunu gank in mid, and let's see, is Jordan going to make it out? Yes, actually. Varys going to go back to buy because he's sitting on a lot of gold. Yeah, there's the double Dorans, and I'm presuming he's going to get Berserker Greaves here too. Yeah, there's the Berserker Greaves. He had just enough. Okay, other skills. Blood Rush gains increased movement speed for 1.5 seconds and increased attack speed for 3 seconds. There's another fight going on over here mid. We'll keep an eye on this. Anyway, I can highlight the skills on Draven and still watch the fight over here, thanks to spectator mode. Yeah, so gains extra movement speed and extra attack speed, and if you catch a spinning axe, it refreshes the cooldown. So this is on a very, you can basically keep using this over and over and over again. It keeps refreshing the cooldown if you catch the axe. So the idea for Draven is if you're going into fight, if you're going into trade, catch the axe, pop your W. If you catch an axe, you can immediately recast his W again, and fortunately it does have a fairly low mana cost. So again, if it all comes down to catching those axes. If you can keep catching his axes as they spin around, then you're going to be doing just crazy damage because you can keep popping this skill over and over and over again every time you want to trade. But mechanically, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's kind of a little bit complicated just to manage everything that you would normally do with an AD and also manage catching the axes. Anyway, here, unfortunately, Jordan is going to die again, and now we're really in trouble because Akali is 0-2 and Karthus is 3-0, and that means that we are falling behind in mid, and you don't want an assassin to fall behind, as I've said before, because they're going to be pretty useless. If they can't dive in and get a kill, then they're not going to be useful to the team. And a Karthus that's getting a lot of kills is going to be very dangerous. Anyway, right there, that was where Varys popped the Blood Rush, and I get grabbed underneath the tower, and that was really bad. Let's watch that again because the camera work wasn't good there. Anyway, so watch for when he pops the W. There is a little animation when you can see him pop his Blood Rush. Let's see right there. See the little speed boost. And unfortunately, yep, that's really bad. Grabbed under the tower and just completely blown up. So, like I said, this was far from my best game. And that was pretty silly right there. At least you get the little game over animation. I do really enjoy that about the Arcade Sona skin. Alright, other skills on Draven. His E is called Stand Aside. He throws his axes, deals physical damage, and knocks them aside. There's also a slow associated with this, a very minor slow. But the basic thing is you toss out your axe, and you it has a slight knockback. Well, not even really a knockback, more like a knock to the side effect. But it gives you, this is the only skill that Draven has that has any kind of crowd control effect on it. So the effect is relatively minor, but it is a little crowd control effect that you can have, and it has, I believe that this has the most range of any of his skills aside from his ult. You can throw this out, so you can get another little extra damage skill, but this is definitely the 1-point skill on Draven. Only put 1 point in this. Now Lonely Wolf is going in after the dragon. I'm not sure if this is the safest call necessarily. He only has a phage. In fact, he's going to die to the dragon unless we come in and swap off tanking it. Fortunately, they have no ward coverage, but they might have. You know, there was no guarantee. And oh, he's so low. In comes the Ezreal ult, attempting the dragon steal. Not going to get it though. And we are going to manage to take that. Lonely Wolf made it out on like 20 HP. So that was definitely an overly aggressive dragon call. That was one where things could have gone disastrously wrong. We were fortunate that they were out of position, but it really wasn't safe. And I wouldn't suggest making that play. Alright, now the other skill I haven't talked about, Draven's ultimate. Draven does have a global ultimate, Whirling Death. Hurls 2 massive axes that deal physical damage to each unit struck. They go anywhere on the map. Like I said, they're global. You toss them out and they will hit, you know, you can throw them and they'll go all the way across the map, and you have a chance to deal damage on the trip out, and then another chance to deal damage on the trip back again. And you can actually pick up some garbage kills this way if you aim them properly. So it's an interesting ult. I mean, there's no crowd control effect on it. It's like Ash Arrow, except it doesn't stun, and you have a chance to hit both on the out trip and on the return trip. Now here, K-Hop comes in. Note that Varus used his E to knock him back slightly. A nice little play there. Now I'm going to get grabbed once again. I am going to use Sona ult under the tower. There is the Whirling Death blade, and you see that come out right there. Let's go back and look at that again, just so you can see this more clearly. The gank comes in, K-Hop goes and tries to catch out Varus. Right there, we're going to get grabbed under the tower, but as I get grabbed, there's the Sona ult, the Arcade Sona ult, and there's the blades coming in, going out. Morlina is coming, is going to flash away, but the tower shot hits him. So we were able to play that reasonably well. Getting grabbed was not so good. Oh, and look at this K-Hop going for the Empire move, but it doesn't work out. They're still committed to the gank. In comes Lonely Wolf, though, so we may be able to turn that around. He's going to dash in. Always tough to sort of catch up to Nunu, but we do have a shot right here. The Ignite comes out, and Varus will pick up that kill, and he picks up his 3rd kill of the game. So we were able to turn around that fight pretty well, and we actually played that one fairly well in order to flip that gank around. Varus used his skills really well in that fight. I once again got grabbed, which is pretty stupid, but we were able to. I was able to use my ult right there in order to get the little Dance Dance Revolution crescendo under the tower. And now we're pushing the tower because we want to push this wave to the tower so we can go back and put this gold to use, and look to fight another day. Varus is sitting on 1900, so he's clearly going to pick up the BF sword on this trip back as soon as he's back in the store again. Anyway, while we have a minute, yeah, there's the BF sword. While we have a minute, let's look at what's going on around the map. In top lane, our team is winning. Kirby Sullla is pretty far ahead, 104 to 45. Now, this is partly because Lucium, I believe that Lucium was on a lower level account here. I believe this was a non-30 account. I'm not sure if he is a less experienced player or if Lucium is someone who was joining us from Europe and didn't have a North American account. I'm afraid I can't remember. But we were in pretty good shape in top lane. We were winning this top lane pretty well. In contrast, we were losing the middle lane. Unfortunately for us, Jordan was having a bit of a rough game. 0-2, 80 minion kills against Kenjaku's 105. Minion kills 3-0, so Kenjaku was doing pretty well in lane. His farm's pretty good. He's got the 3 kills. In bottom lane, we're definitely ahead. Varus is 3-0, 91 minion kills to Namikashiya's 73-01, so we're winning there. And in terms of the jungle, it's fairly even right now between the two sides. Fairly even. Although K-Hop's going to have more gold later on because he does have the 2 gold. He does have the double gold for 10s. Nunu is the support jungler, whereas Xinjiao is a carry jungler. Now here we go once again. K-Hop has also gotten an Oracle, a nice buy early on in the jungler, and so he comes in there and he takes out our ward. Now you might say, Oh, once again, I'm going to get grabbed, setting up another mistake on the fight here. Going to get hit, but I am able to get off my ult. And we have a nice Gangplank ult as well, and we're able to turn that around. So I make a mistake, get grabbed, but we're able to turn it around. I did immediately ult Melina, and so we were able to actually pick up a kill off of that. Through Gangplank ult and Draven ult, Varus did get a double hit again on the Whirling Death, and if you hit with both ends of the axe, it does deal a lot of damage. Anyway, so right now the game's definitely in our favor. We're ahead, what, about 3,000 gold? But Karthus is clearly going to be a problem because Kenchiku is starting to get very, very strong indeed. He already had the 3 kills, and we were definitely worried about dealing with Karthus as this game goes on because he's just going to continue farming and getting stronger and stronger. So we definitely needed, what we were thinking was we'll take the bottom tower. Sometimes it can be better off to leave the bottom tower up if you think you have a really big advantage in lane, but our thought was we'll take the bottom tower and then we'll look on trying to put pressure on mid and trying to help out our Akali player Jordan in mid, because Jordan was, like you could see, kind of having a bit of a rough go there in lane. So that was our thought, and we figured that if we could take the tower down, we could roam a little bit and we could maybe put some more pressure on Karthus here in mid. So we'll see what happens, but that was the thought process, and that's why Varus is heading up here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we're also trying to get some control of their jungle. Their blue buff's not up, but we're keeping an eye on it. And there's all kinds of pings going out. So here we see that Melina is coming, has gone forward, and we're going to look to get in behind him and try to cut him off. There's also a 3-man gank coming on Akali, so keep an eye on both of these. So this is a situation that Blitz is in all kinds of trouble. Going to be difficult to get out of that. There's the charge in from Xin Zhao, and now the battle is well and truly joined. And I'm going to Sona steal a kill off of that and pick up a kill right there. I probably should have just made certain not to get that. I did hit Q there and picked up the kill unnecessarily. Would have been better off leaving that for either Lonely Wolf, our Xin Zhao player, or letting Varus take that. But in any case, still not a bad play. We're able to gain more control of this bottom lane. We're going to push this wave, and I'm going to ward here in the brush to give us a little bit of safety as we push this. Meanwhile, right now we see that Lonely Wolf is trying to make his way out of here. He's going to get caught by Karthus, and oh, this is not good. 2 very nicely placed lay waste, and he doesn't even have to use ult in making his way in picking up that kill. So that was very nicely done by Kenchiku. Again, that wall of pain is where you want to, is really what defines a good Karthus player. Got the slow, and then just started placing down the lay waste. So very, very nicely done right there. Anyway, at this point, bottom lane is pushed back to the tower, so we can't really farm here, not in safety. Varus going to grab double golems instead. We can't, like I said, can't really push that lane. K-Hop still has that Oracle, so really our top goal at the moment is trying to get that Oracle off of him and then trying to put some pressure on mid tower, which he haven't managed to get. Kirby is still farming behind the tower up here, making it very difficult for Lucium in top lane, so we'll see. Again, Vlad can be difficult to take out. Vlad, let's see, does Vlad have his heal up? Yes, Vlad does have heal up, but in comes the gank. It is being pinged. Good ward coverage allows him to try to get out of here. Anyway, Kirby is going to use his cleanse to get out of the snowball, but there's more slows coming in after. Kirby, does he have enough mana to use his ult? It doesn't look like it. Is he going to be able to make it out of here? Doesn't look like he's going to escape. Doing a nice job of trying to dodge this, but no, not going to make it out. A lot of ults used. Too many slows, not able to escape. We did take advantage of that. Oh, while that was going on, we tried to do Dragon. We went down here because they're, we figured we'd go take Drag because there were 3 in top lane, but they were able to steal it with an Ezreal ult, so that was pretty nice. However, we weren't able to get the Dragon. Again, our jungler was top. We didn't have Smite. So what we are going to do is we're going to look to push this mid tower. Again, we're trying to punish them for having 3 in top lane. Varus going to get grabbed, though, by a nice pull from Melina is coming. The exhaust is a little bit unnecessary. Oh, wow, they're able to get a kill in top lane, too. Let's see how that happened. How did this happen? Oh, Lonely Wolf went in, but he's level 7 against level 11 and level 9. That's not a particularly good idea. So that was a bit of a poor decision right there. 1v2 and them both higher level. So that last sequence did not go well for us. We weren't able to get... It would have been much better if we had taken Dragon, but again, we didn't have Smite because our jungler was in top. And that was a mistake by Lonely Wolf. He should not have run top lane. It was a 3v1. He wasn't going to be able to turn that fight around. If we had him down here, we could have just taken Dragon, and then if we trade 1 kill for a Dragon, we come out way ahead. So that was a bit of a mistake right there. But they got the Dragon because of a nice Ezreal ult. Nice little juke by Jordan right there. Let's see if Jordan's going to be able to get out of here. Here comes the ult from the Spinning Blades, or whatever it's called, from Draven. Going going to come out on the initial trip, and there's the return trip right there. Doesn't actually hit anything though. Was trying to get them if they chose to dive that tower. So with that last sequence, their team's actually ahead in kills right now, 9-7. We still have the edge in global gold because we were able to take. We've got a tower and we've got a dragon. They only have the one dragon. And we also have a nice advantage in farm. 142 to 68 and 138 to 100. They have the edge in mid though. And you can just kind of see the overall matchups here. I'll go ahead and put on the gold totals for a sec. We can see who has the most gold in this match. Right now, I believe Varys and Kirby Sullla have the most gold. Although, no, actually, Kenchiku has the most gold right now. Their Karthus player currently has the most. So those are the three that basically have the most gold. Otherwise, it's fairly close. Right here, though, I'm looking to come in and counter gank K-Hop. What I don't know is Molina is coming. He is in the area as well, and so that means I'm going to have to skedaddle out of there because I do not want to get Blitzcrank grabbed. Now, they are looking to put pressure on our middle lane. Jordan needs to back off a little bit, has to be careful right here. We really would like to, we probably can fight this. It is a 4-on-4 as long as we're able to go in. I miss the Sona ult right there, and then Lonely Wolf gets blown up instantly, and now I get grabbed, and this fight is just not going in our way whatsoever. That was really bad. Varys is going to get the kill, or no, Jordan gets the kill on K-Hop, so we do take out their Oracle, but that was not a good fight for us. And right there, Namikaze is going to flash in. I'm not quite sure why Ezreal did that, but it's not going to turn into a further fight. Still, that wasn't a great fight for us. About the only thing that can be said is we got the Oracle, and then Karthus ult picks off Akali. So they go 3 for 1 in that fight. Again, I misplayed that. I missed the Sona ult. Was not good there. And then our Xinjiao player, Lonely Wolf, got blown up immediately. He probably needs to build a little bit more survivability because he's very underleveled at this point. He's a lower level than the support, and that really shouldn't be happening. He doesn't have any tankiness. He's doing a damage build. And what that means is he just gets blown. Yeah, he has 48 armor and 40 magic resist, and he only has 1400 life. So he's getting blown up instantly when he goes into these fights. So he probably needs to build a little bit more survivability. Normally, when you play Jungle Xinjiao, your first buy is a Wriggles Lantern. And I would definitely suggest getting that as your first item. Just because it allows you to kill the creeps. You can clear the camp so much faster with the Wriggles. With that effect that deals the bonus down. Like, look how long it's taking to kill Red Buff. This is taking a very, very long time. So Wriggles Lantern gives you the ability to clear camps faster, and it also allows you to, it also gives you that extra armor. Anyway, Kirby is able to score a kill in top lane. Let's see, is he going to be able to make it out of here? I don't know if he's going to. Does he have his cleanse up? No, he does not have his remove scurvy, but it looks like he's going to be okay. It looks like that. No, he's going to get flash walled, and oh, that's sad. And nope, not going to make it out of there. A nice Karthus wall is able to pick up the kill. So meanwhile, again, while they have 2 top, we're trying to punish them for that by pushing this tower. Look at how much damage those axes are doing. Oh, the whirling blades. Is it going to be enough to survive? No, because Varys has red buff. And that passive burn effect from the red buff is going to be enough to get that kill. So a really nice flash by Molina is coming, but the red buff had just enough damage to finish him off in the end there. And it's indeed one of those things you're like, well, wait a minute, how did I die there? I thought I survived that. And I believe that someone on our team is going to tell him, yeah, it's the red buff right there. So Varys is able to go out to 503, and he is steadily becoming the strongest one on our team, although Kirby Sullla is also very strong. He has the Trinity, and he has the Aegis. And again, this is sort of the core Gangplank build. I did a video on Gangplank, and I've been playing him a little bit recently. I think that he is he's someone that doesn't get played much in top lane, but I think he's actually a pretty good choice. He doesn't really win 1v1 duels in top lane, but he just adds a lot of utility to the team with his Raise Morale, which is something that gives the whole team benefit, and his global ult on the Cannon Barrage. So again, you play Gangplank top, you just sit up there and farm. The basic build is Boots and 3 pots to start, Philosopher's Stone first item. Then you either build Aegis or Trinity. You build Trinity if you're going for more damage, and you build Aegis if you need survivability in lane. Anyway, Varys has red buff, so this is terrifying. Lucium cannot escape, maybe with his ghost, but Varys is going to flash after him, and the Ignite is going to pick it off. Now can Varys manage to get out of this? He does have people coming after him, coming to chase him. There's actually 4 people coming to chase him. Oh no, this is not good at all. The entire enemy team has showed up. They are not very happy. There is the Gangplank ultimate, trying to get this kill on Kenchiku. More flashes coming out, and Varys is actually going to make it out of here, even though there's a 3-man gank coming in. So while this is going on, Kirby's going to push that top tower because there's no one there. Again, the usefulness of Gangplank, that ult allows us to clear most of the minion wave right there. And again, the other global ult, what is it, the Whirling Blades? Is that what it's called? Whirling Death. There's that W, the little knockback. So the combination of the Gangplank ult and then the Whirling Death, sort of spinning blades, allows us to push them off that tower. Now, they are heading towards Dragon. There are 3 right here at Drag. But their team, it looks like they're going to have to react to this push in top lane. K-Hop's coming up here. And in fact, they're not actually going to do Dragon. We thought for sure they would do Dragon because they had 3 right next to it. But instead, their team backs off and they're going back to base. See, we were coming up here just to check when Dragon was going to respawn. We were going to get a clear on Dragon, but it was like, no, they didn't do it. I guess we did have a ward in the back of the pit. I think I just put that word in there. So we're going to go ahead and take this Dragon, and that was one that their team really should have gotten. But they weren't able to catch Varus down there in bottom lane, even though they sent, what, we got the initial kill, and then they sent 3 more. Now watch this, we're coming here trying to get the blue, and it was like, oh my god, Karthus is right here. So we're going to turn and fight him. I am going to get off the Sona Crescendo on him. So we're going to take out Karthus, but then, oh no, this isn't good. Oh, the double kill. Wow. So we were like, oh my god, that Karthus is indeed strong at this point in time. Kenchiku, wow, he's got his Rod of Ages, he's got his Death Cap, and meanwhile Jordan is in kind of bad shape. Jordan then shadow dashes into the middle of the creep camp. We didn't quite understand that. Maybe could have tried to escape otherwise. So they just scored 3 kills on us, and they made a nice play there. But it was becoming obvious that Karthus was, yeah, it's like, oh, Karthus, he is 10-1 on the game, and he has a Rod of Ages and a Death Cap, and he's got 330 AP at the 25-minute mark. So yeah, that ult's dealing a lot of damage. So we're gonna have to. We were like, oh, we're gonna have to do something about Kenchiku, because he has gotten just so strong in this game. So it was increasingly looking like it was Draven against Karthus in this particular matchup. And the bone problem with Karthus is, even if you kill him, of course, he can still get off his damage. So one of the things that makes him so strong in team fighting and such a strong champion in late game. Alright, now in terms of itemizing, Varus is going the standard AD route. That's what you generally do with Draven. Infinity Edge, went for the Infinity Edge, then for Phantom Dancer. The question of, do you build Infinity Edge or do you build Phantom Dancer on Draven? That's something I'm not, I don't think there's a clear answer on that. I've seen people build in both ways. Varus went with Infinity Edge for this game. And I'm afraid I don't know enough about Draven to say whether one build is necessarily better than the other. But Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster, then into Phantom Dancer seems like a, pretty standard AD build. And that's what Varus has gone for in this particular game. Elsewhere, I already talked about the Gangplank build. Look at this. I picked up a Negatron Cloak just because I wanted it so I wasn't just an easy kill for Karthus. I mean, that's a non-standard support build, but that was just... Karthus is the one destroying us, so I'm just going to grab some extra magic resist at this point in time. Not build it into anything, but just get the magic resist cloak and just hold on to that, because again, Karthus is just dealing so much magic damage, and at least this takes me up to like 90 MR instead of 30. Gives me a better chance to survive. Also, Gangplank does have an Aegis, so there wasn't as much of a compelling reason to grab an Aegis. I believe I'm actually going to build, what's it called? I think I'm going to build Zeke's Herald as the next item, because we have quite a few auto attack. We have 3 auto attackers on our team, so it's actually, no, we have 4 auto attackers. Akali can get benefit from that too. So it's actually a really good item on our team. Everyone can make use of the extra attack speed and the extra life steal. Okay, on their team, again, I've talked about Karthus build, now going for that Zanya's Hourglass. That's what that signals. Ezreal has gone Trinity first. That's a very solid build on Ezreal. Nothing wrong with that. Elsewhere, we do see the standard support jungle build coming out from K-Hop's Nunu. Double gold for 10s and Aegis. Again, just support jungle build. And he has been buying those oracles. He has, I think this is the second or third oracle he's bought. So he continues roaming around, clearing out our ward coverage. So there's a bit of a battle going on between me and him in terms of who can keep wards on the map. We also do need an oracle. I think I am getting one here. Maybe, maybe not. Can't remember in this particular game. But we need someone on our team to get an oracle soon. No, I only had enough to get wards. Just because we don't have an oracle on anyone on our team right now. And now that we're getting to the point where the game becomes a bit of a contest over who's going to take Baron, having the ability to clear their wards is just such a huge deal. Like right now, we're walking right over one of their team's wards, and the inability to clear that, makes it tough when you're in sort of the Baron standoff that this game so often turns into. Alright, again, in the game right now, there's not too much going on. Our team does have a slight lead. A 3,000 gold lead is enough to be significant, but it's not a huge lead. It's sort of a modest lead. We're certainly not in a position where we can afford to mess up. We do have 2 really strong champions, Gangplank and Draven, and our Akali and our Xin Zhao are fairly weak at the moment. Unfortunately, Lonely Wolf is in a position where he's a melee champ, but anytime he jumps in, he's going to get blown up. And right now, he's getting caught out here. He's behind the whole enemy team, and oh no, this is not good. This is not good whatsoever. I was recalling out of there because I thought I was going to die. In any case, though, or no, I wasn't the one who recalled. It was actually Kirby that recalled. Anyway, we were able to catch Karthus right there and blow him up. He gets off his ult, but now we're getting into a pretty good team fight right here because we managed to get the team fight without Karthus going down. So anyway, we're going to look to fight this. I'm going to use my exhaust on K-Hop right as his ult goes off. That's going to block a lot of the damage from Nunu ult. Meanwhile, we were able to pick off the kill. Varus is just killing everyone in this team fight, and we're going to continue chasing this down. There is the double kill. Now Melina is coming, is the only one left, and it's just a matter of chasing him down. Varus still has red buff. He probably picked it up during the fight. He's going to get grabbed, but it's not going to be enough. So let's go back and break down this team fight again. I'm going to go back, and we'll watch it at a slightly slower speed, just because this is a fairly important team fight. Okay, so Lonely Wolf gets caught, and he gets blown up, but right there, we are able to catch Karthus. There's the Gangplank ult doing good damage right here. Varus is focusing on Kenchiku, so he's going to blow down up Karthus first. Now we're going to disengage, not fight in the Defile. We want to back up, wait until Karthus is out of the fight. Now we're going to look to go in and fight. So it's a good Vlad ult from Lucium, a nice Vlad ult right there. And let's see, who are we chasing? Varus is continuing to get off his damage. It's a good Nunu ult, but again, I get off the exhaust on K-Hop right before he Nunu ult, and that blocks a lot of the damage. Lucium's very low. There's an Ignite ticking on him. Kirby is going to pick off that kill. Varus is attacking K-Hop. He is going to finish that off. He's picked up a red buff from somewhere. Now we're going after Ezreal. Right there, Namikashi is going to flash away. But let's see, is it going to be enough right here? We need one more hit. No, he's going to fall to red buff. And then it's just the chase you saw before on Melina is coming to chase that down. So I really thought we were going to lose that team fight initially because Lonely Wolf got blown up right at the start of the fight. But as it turned out, we were basically able to trade Shinzao, who's a bit underleveled and underfarmed, for Karthus. Kenchiku is the strongest one on their team, so that meant it was a big time win for us. Now at this point we're like, well, we did just ace their team. Let's go and head for Baron. Let's do this thing. And we so we're gonna head up here and do that. The whole thing is not about damage at this point. It's about, can we tank the thing? Are we going to be able to tank this without dying? So what we have to do is we have to rotate off who's tanking the Baron. We have to keep swapping between Kirby and Varus because they have the most health. And again, Varus just, auto-attacking right here. He does output quite a bit of damage. Kirby is using his Raise Morale. And are we going to be able to get this one? Yes, we are able to pick that up. And we're even able to get the Baron buff onto all 5 members of our team. So that went really, really well. Again, a 5-for-1 and Baron. And that looked to be sort of the key turning fight in this particular match. Now, it's far from finished at this point. There's a long way still to go. Their team still has almost all their towers up, and we're only ahead by about 6,000 gold, but that fight nonetheless still really helped us out quite a bit. An interesting item choice here from Varus. Look what he's picked up. He's gone for the Banshee's Veil. Again, this is not something you typically see on an AD. Normally, if you build a magic resist item, you build a Quicksilver Sash, and they do a nice job of picking up Dragon. That was a nice response to get back a little global gold. Anyway, normally you get a Quicksilver Sash on an AD if you want a magic resist item, but the thing is, a Quicksilver wouldn't really do that much against this team. About the only thing it would do is you could cleanse the Nunu Snowball, but again, I mean, that's not that useful. So instead, Varus went for the Banshee's Veil, which will give him extra health, and it'll give him the ability to block one spellcast. In particular, if he could block the Karthus ult, that would be a huge deal. So that's why we went after that particular item, even though you typically don't see it on an AD. But I do think it made sense in this game. He didn't really need more damage at this point in time. Their team has some armor. They're starting to stack some armor. Chain Vest, Aegis. They're starting to stack some armor, but the Banshee's Veil is a solid choice for defending against Karthus in this particular match. Now that we have Baron, we're going to look to push, so we're going to get in some poke on this tower. There's Varus getting in auto attacks on the tower. We have to be careful. I'm going to get in an ult that hits 3 members of the team, and we were able to get in quite a bit of damage. And right there, K-Hop is unfortunately going to waste his ult, but I get caught once again by the Blitzcrank ult. I'm going to turn around and try to make my way out of here. And then I was like, wait, no, Karthus is going to kill me regardless, so I might as well go back in and start dealing damage. And there comes the Karthus ult, and oh my god, triple kill from the team. So that fight looked really good, and we were able to kill Karthus again, but he just did so much damage with his ultimate. He just ults, and then 3 members of our team got wiped out. So that was like, oh man, that wasn't good. And we largely wasted our Baron push right there. Even though the fight looked pretty good initially, it's just Karthus ult, just too much damage, man. Anyway, right there, Varus gets involved in a little bit of a 1v1 against Namikashia, but is able to come out on top. And then here, their team pushes a little bit too far forward. Look how much damage K-Hop is taking. Again, those Draven auto attacks are just really, really hitting hard. And it looks like Varus' Banshee's Veil blocked something. I didn't quite see what it was in that fight. So we were able to hold off their sort of counter push there, prevent them from getting anything, and just stall that out. So that went reasonably well for us. But at this point, now Kenchiku's Karthus, now he has a Banshee, now he has, not a Banshee's Veil, he has a Zanya's Hourglass. And that is real trouble, because now if we dive him in the fight, he can just press 3 on his keypad, and all of a sudden, you know, he goes into stasis for 2 seconds. So that's going to be a real problem. So even though our team is, you know, is still ahead, is still in good position, we have to be increasingly worried about Karthus, because Karthus is just so strong in these team fights. We have to find a fight like we got over here, where we blow up Karthus instantly and then disengage, wait for his ult to hit, and then only re-engage after we've managed to finish off Karthus. That's kind of what we need to do right here. Anyway, VarisNox does have his red buff right now, so that will make him a lot scarier in any kind of chasing situation, giving him that slow on his auto attacks and giving him that sort of modest extra damage. If we look at the gold chart, you can see that, again, it's still the same champs. It's Draven, it's Gangplank, and it's Karthus, and no one else is really close to them in terms of gold on this game. They're really the ones that are leading in this particular match. It's also interesting that we have so many global ults. We have Karthus ult, we have Draven ult, and we have Gangplank ult. So the same 3 champs that are leading in gold are also all 3 champs that have globals, which is kind of interesting. One thing we could have done is, Kirby Sullla does have the teleport. We can always have Kirby go off and try to split push and then teleport into the fight. I mean, he could go for one of these side towers, and then we could teleport. Anyway, it's another nice wall from Kenchiku, and that grab just barely misses from their Blitzcrank player. Molina almost managed to pick that one up. And again, we still don't have an Oracle on our team. Oh no, yes we do. Kirby's picked one up. I'm sorry, I missed that one. Yeah, so he did pick one up. I didn't pick one up because I thought I would die. I thought I would die if I went for the. I thought I couldn't keep the Oracle if I tried to hold on to it, because I just get blown up so fast. We do have a mob, a creep wave pushing in bottom lane, and they send 2 to defend it, at which point in time we're like, let's go for top lane. They don't have anyone up here. We don't have minions, but that's okay. We can just tank the tower. Look how fast it goes down. Varus' auto attacks deal a ton of damage, so if we can grab a tower for free like that, let's just go ahead and do it. That tower was already on half health from an earlier push that Kirby Sullla made in top, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. And we know that Baron's going to be up again in a relatively soon. Let's go ahead. I can actually check the timer here in spectator mode. Hold on. Baron Nashor 30-16, that means it's 37-16. So we all have to be aware of that. We're going to go back to buy, and we're going to look to use that gold to get ready. There's the Gunblade coming out on Akali. Kind of interesting that it was Rylai's first. That's you don't usually see Rylai's first on Akali. The Warmogs now on Gangplank. This is again part of the sort of the standard Gangplank build. It makes him very tanky. He's got 180 armor, 160 MR, and now he's got a ton of health to boot. He's almost 4,000 health, and it looks like he's going to get an Atma's Impaler, I think, as his last item. I think that's what the chain vest is for. So again, it's all going to make him very, very strong indeed. And I mean, this build takes a ton of gold. I mean, he's 13,000 gold, and he's still not finished with it yet. But if you can get that much gold, it becomes very strong. Now, Varus also has picked up another defensive item. Look, he hasn't gone for Last Whisper. Again, the logic was Varus doesn't need more damage. He needs to not die to Karthus. So he has the Guardian Angel, and that is a big deal indeed. That means if he gets blown up in a team fight, he will revive afterwards. So they can't just dive him and take him out. So that would look to be, could be a very important item. And again, just a lot of defensive items there, but the general feeling is just doesn't need more damage. Now, Baron is still about 40 seconds or so away from spawning, so again, we're just hanging out here. We know that they have no word coverage. We're waiting for it to respawn, and we're just waiting for the Baron fight that's going to be happening next. K-Hop's back at base. He's not with them. So again, I'm going to ward there over the wall to give us vision on the oncoming fight. And Kirby does have another Oracle. I guess he hasn't died in a little bit, so he still had that one. Dragon's up, but again, the focus right now is Baron. That's what the teams have to be looking at, and we know it's going to be up soon, so it's just a matter of time. Now, unfortunately for them, Kenchiku's blue is up. He doesn't have it. He's coming over here to do his blue, but that means he's going to be a little bit slow in getting over here if there's a Baron fight. So, and also, their Ezreal player, Namikashia, is heading to clear this wave in top. I'm not sure why we weren't in the Baron, but we should have been there ready to do it right when it spawned. We knew that Ezreal was top, so we knew that if we were right here and we did Baron fast enough, we could probably do it. And again, look how fast it dies. Baron dies very quickly at this stage of the game, so we need to try to, well, we were going to do Baron, but when we see their team coming in, we have to look to turn and fight. You can't just stand there. It's a beautiful Gangplank ult. Let's slow this down so we can watch what's happening. Molina is coming, is getting blown up, but oh, look at this. Kenchiku right in the middle of our team uses his Zanya. Beautiful play by Karthus. Just deals so much damage. We're just getting blown up by his Defile. Now Kenchiku is going to go down to Varus' auto attacks, but again, that means the Karthus ult is going to be incoming any second right now. It's a good Nunu ult from K-Hop as well. And again, right now, oh no, here comes the Karthus ult, and this is going to hurt a lot. How many is it going to take out? Let's see. It takes out no one on our team, actually. And Varus is going to respawn with the Guardian Angel. We're able to score a kill on Vlad right there. So Varus revives due to his Guardian Angel, and now he's going to continue chasing. And no, we're actually not going to catch K-Hop right there. So a nicely played fight from their team. They got off a nice... That was very well played by Kenchiku. He really did play that fight correctly. K-Hop's going to escape, going to flash over the wall. They were able to kill Varus in that fight, but the Guardian Angel brought him back to life. And again, that's really key, because with Varus alive, we're going to be able to make a play on Baron. Again, if he died, we would not be able to do Baron because we would not have the damage. And Jordan's going to split push this bottom lane. So a pretty good team fight on all sides right there, I thought. Again, Karthus played the fight correctly. It was a nice Gangplank ult from Kirby Sullla. He got off the Gangplank ult in just the perfect spot to slow them and force an engagement. There was so much area of effect damage on both sides. But I really do think that one of the keys was that Guardian Angel, not in terms of winning the fight, because the Guardian Angel didn't win the fight for us, but in terms for being able to do Baron afterwards. Again, we really would not have had the damage to take Baron if Varus had not revived afterwards. So, again, stacking health, one thing you can do against Karthus. We've got a lot of health on Kirby. That's why he was able to walk into the middle of the enemy team and not die, because he's got all this health. He's got, what, almost 4,000 health, so that was one of the keys. And then that Guardian Angel made a big difference, too. I'd like to think that my Negatron Cloak helped me survive, too. Look at all the Negatrons. Look at all the magic resist we're stacking. We've got Negatron Cloak here and here. We've got the Banshee's Veil and the Guardian Angel. Oh, no. Varus sold his Banshee's Veil. Okay, that's right. He sold his Banshee's Veil to get the Guardian Angel. That makes sense, yeah. The Guardian Angel was more useful in that fight than the Banshee's Veil. And now he does finally have the Last Whisper, so that he has the armor penetration as well. Let's check his armor penetration. 6 flat and then 46%. Right here, Varus grabs red buff, and oh, look at that damage. Poor Lucian, he loses a third, he loses like 2/3 of his health in like 3 seconds. And again, that's the red buff that Varus has going for him. Now I'm just going to sit back and lifesteal his way up to full. No, as it turns out, I actually did go for an Aegis in this game. I thought I went for a Zeke's. It's been a little while since I played this. Again, I guess I was just thinking, need to be able to survive. I actually have 148 magic resist, which is pretty funny on a support. And again, it's just all designed to survive against Karthus. Anyway, we've gone into a bit of a split push here. Kirby Sullla does have his teleport up, so he looks like he's coming over to join us in mid, but he actually could just stay top and then teleport down towards us if there's a big team fight. So that was one option that he could have gone for. Anyway, we do have Baron again, so we need to look to push. We're trying to get an advantage. Again, those Barons are what's largely responsible for getting us out to this lead. That last fight, taking Baron and killing most of their team, really cemented an advantage for us. Now we're ahead about 10,000 gold. Still, we have to be careful about how we engage this. We don't want to get dived. We don't want to get caught under the tower. And, oh, here we go again. But that grab is going to mean I can ult in the middle of their team. I get off a nice Sun ult. It's a nice ult by Gangplank as well, dealing just a lot of damage here on both sides. K-Hop gets off a good Nunu ult, but it doesn't matter. Kirby is just tanking that tower like a boss, not taking any damage. Well, not taking some damage, but he's going to survive. I get taken out by the ult. Lonely Wolf gets taken out by the ult, but we still have 3 people up, and that means we're going to be able to push this pretty well. So we still have Varus up, and we still have Kirby up, and there are big damage dealers on the team. So again, the reason why the Gangplank build has worked so well, he's got just so much survivability on here. And look at the damage, 304 on his auto attack damage. So deals a lot of damage, is super tanky, and has a lot of survivability. So again, their team was ace. We're just pushing mid, trying to see how far we can get into the base. Still got a ways before they're going to revive. Again, still another about 20 seconds before their main damage dealers revive. Again, it's not that big a deal if Blitzcrank revives. He doesn't deal that much damage. or if Nunu revives. I mean, again, they're more support. They're support. They're not damage dealers. So again, they're trying to get this tower down as fast as possible. Varus has 300 AD. Kirby Sullla has 300 AD, so they can take these towers down quickly. Now Ezreal's up, so it's just about, can they finish off the Nexus right here? And yes, are going to get that Nexus as the game gets finished off. So just in time before Vlad and Karthus revived. Anyway, so there you go. This was a game that was actually requested by a couple people. Some people had seen it on live stream and specifically requested to cast this game. I think it's a nice example of playing Draven, and also a good example of sort of itemizing around the enemy team, what was so strong in their team. They were running double AP team comp, and Kenchiku just had a fabulous game here, 15-5-3 as Karthus. He was so strong, and he really dictated a lot of the itemization on our team, in particular that Guardian Angel and the earlier Banshee's Veil on Varus. So there you go, 13-1-9 Draven game in concert with a really nice Gangplank game from Kirby Sullla. So a pretty interesting game. I mean, maybe it wasn't that close, but I think it was interesting enough to be deserving of casting. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Sorry there hasn't been as much content on the channel of late. I'll do my best to work on that, but I also have to work for a living. So until next time, see you guys later. Have a great week. See you again soon. Take care.